Hey, what's up? Zirmiyahu Ben Israel, and we're going to talk about why the Bible has some contradictions in it. Now, I used to think that, because, I used to be under the spell of Christianity and think that, there are no contradictions. There's a reason why, some things in the Bible may look like they don't line up, but in reality, it all makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. The reason why there are so many contradictions in the Bible is because the New Testament was put next to the real book of Yah, and it was made to look like, Christianity is a lie, which it is, but trying to debunk the whole entire book, which includes the real book, the Old Testament, and that's just not true. But we'll just go ahead and look at some of these contradictions here. Like, for example, as occasionally I go back into the New Testament just for context and exposing JC, but as we can see here, just some of the lies in the New Testament here. Now, like, for example, it goes on to say that Matthew chapter 1, verse 22, where it says, "Now all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of Yah by the prophet, saying, Behold, a virgin shall be with child and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel," which, being interpreted, is God with us. See, that is a lie right there. Because we're going to go to the actual text here. Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14, where it says, "Therefore Yah shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." But when you look at the entire chapter as a whole, and we're going to read that entire chapter right here, where it says, Isaiah chapter 7, verse 1, it says, "And it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up towards Jerusalem to war against it, but could not prevail against it. And it was told the house of David, saying, Syria is confederate with Ephraim, and his heart was moved, and the heart of his people as the trees of the wood are moved with the wind. Then said Yahweh unto Isaiah, Go forth now to meet Ahaz, thou and Sir-Jashub thy son, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field, and say unto him, Take heed and be quiet, fear not, neither be faint-hearted for the two tails of these smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of Rezin with Syria and of the son of Remaliah. Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against thee, saying, Let us go up against Judah, and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabil. Thus said Yahweh Elohim, It shall not stand, neither shall it come to pass. For the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is risen, and within 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people. And the head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If ye will not believe, surely ye shall not be established. Moreover, Yahweh spake again unto Ahaz, saying, Ask thee a sign of Yahweh, thy Elohim. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt Yahweh. And he said, Hear ye now, O house of David. Is it a small thing for you to weary men? But will ye weary my Elohim also? Therefore, Yahweh himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. For before the child shall know to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land that thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of both her kings. Yahweh shall bring upon thee and upon thy people, upon thy father's house, days that have not come from the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, even the king of Assyria. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh shall hiss for the fly that is in the uttermost part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the bee that is in the land of Assyria. And they shall come, and shall rest all of them in the desolate valleys, and in the holes of the rocks, and upon all horns, upon all bushes. In the same day shall Yahweh shave with the razor that is hired, namely by them beyond the river, by the king of Assyria, the head and the hair of the feet, and it shall also consume the bread. And it shall come to pass in that day that a man shall nourish a young cow and 2 sheep. And it shall come to pass for the abundance of milk that they shall give, he shall eat butter, for butter and honey shall everyone eat that is left in the land. And it shall come to pass in that day that every place shall be, where there were 1,000 vines, at 1,000 silverlings. It shall even be for briars and thorns. With arrows and with bows shall men come thither, because all the land shall become briars and thorns, and on all hills that shall be digged with the mattock, there shall not come thither the fear of briars and thorns, but it shall be for the sending forth of oxen and for the treading of lesser cattle. This is not talking about JC. This is speaking about the end of Damascus and how the children of Israel will turn from their evil, wicked ways and become as a virgin, different, untouched, and honoring the law, statutes, and commandments of Yah. Nowhere in this entire chapter is anywhere else aside from trying to finesse Isaiah chapter 7:14, where it says, therefore Yah shall give him you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. And it's crazy because Emmanuel does name God with us. But that means that the children of Israel have God with them. That's why it says God is with us. Multiple people. That's what us means. It's a plural, multiple. So we can kill all this nonsense with this being a prophecy about Virgin Mary, conceiving a man by a ghost, not by conception. We can quit with that garbage right there. But yep, and then we'll just expose another one of these false prophecies here. Let's see here. Oh, speaking of, matter of fact, before I don't even have to go on. Hold on, because it also speaks about Jesus's false genealogy as well. Because think about it. If Yah says in the Torah that every man shall be numbered by his father, well, let's find out who JC's father is. This might take a little while, but it's worth it. In the same first chapter of Matthew, starting at verse 1, where it says, the book of the generations of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Now let's make that make sense. That's already too easy, but I'm not going to end it right there. We'll go on to the second verse. It says, Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren, and Judas begat Phares and Zerah of Tamar, and Phares begat Ezram, and Ezram begat Aram, and Aram begat Amminadab, and Amminadab begat Nason, and Nason begat Solomon, and Solomon begat Boaz of Rashab, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David the king. One more time, and Jesse begat David the king. He's the king of Israel. Like this Marcion, when he made this, he's laughing at you people who believe in this JC character, even putting the title. He didn't just call his name David, he calls his name David the king, because he's the king of Israel. Yah is anointed. But one more time, starting at verse 6, and Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias, and Solomon begat Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begat Abiah, and Abiah begat Asa, and Asa begat Josaphat, and Josaphat begat Joram, and Joram begat Uzzias, and Uzzias begat Jotham, and Jotham begat Ahaz, and Ahaz begat Ezekias, and Ezekias begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Amon, and Amon begat Josias, and Josias begat Jeconias and his brethren, about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconias begat Salatiel, and Salatiel begat Zerubbabel, and Zerubbabel begat Abiud, and Abiud begat Eliakim, and Eliakim begat Azar, and Azar begat Sadok, and Sadok begat Achim, and Achim begat Elud, and Elud begat Elazar, and Elazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Yaakov, and Yaakov begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom Jesus was born, who was called Christ. This is false. This new dude in the New Testament doesn't line up with the the royal generations, or the gene pool of where this is coming from. And if you haven't heard or could look up for yourself in Matthew chapter 1, everyone was begat by a father, but except for JC. And if everyone is, what does begat mean? To be born, right? But it still doesn't make sense where some ghost who is trying to be like the Most High, because the Most High is spirit and this Holy Ghost is spirit. So if Yah is spirit and the Holy Ghost is spirit, why would Yah need an intercessing spirit in order to represent him if by his side there was no God formed, neither shall there be after him? I wonder. But yep, just wanted to expose that right there. But this is Yirmiyahu. I'm out. All praise to the Most High.